Okay, folks, so I want to share some more information here from this Government Accountability Office, this report to congressional committees, their Weapon Systems Annual Assessment. And this was one of the articles here that I had left off on, and this was from June 9th, where the Space Force sees further delays to their troubled GPS ground segment. Now, if you remember in the first one, I had talked about this GPS user equipment here, and then there was another one too. Yeah, this GPS 3 follow-on. So it's just kind of interesting that they're seeing these kinds of delays and these kinds of systems, especially now. I mean, we're seeing and hearing a lot of reports about a lot of cyber attacks going on, right? So, I mean, this Government Accountability Office here kind of points out that they're kind of having delays with developing some of these GPS tracker systems and stuff. So I find the mapping that's been going on extra curious at this point, too. And I gotta wonder, oh, hang on, I need to focus that a little bit better. Oh, no, that did not work. Okay. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little bit better. There we go. But with all of this cyber attacking going on and stuff, I gotta wonder, you know, what exactly is really going on with these delays that they're having with developing the GPS systems and stuff. But this article here kind of basically talks about kind of, you know, the same things really that they had mentioned in this Space Force Crafting a New Schedule back in February. It kind of just reiterates some of the information, but they did include a couple of interesting additions to the information in the article. So in Washington, the U.S. Space Force now expects Raytheon to deliver the next phase of its GPS ground system overhaul at the end of this year, 9 months later than the program's previous schedule estimate. Increments 2 and 3 of the Next Generation Operational Control System, dubbed OCX, was supposed to be delivered in January, but technical discoveries during testing delayed the effort and caused the program to reevaluate its schedule. Now, the OCX is the Operating Command Center, like their little, you know, staging area there where they keep an eye on all of the stuff, right? According to a June 8 Government Accountability Office report, that's what I've been going through here, prime contractor Raytheon's delivery delay will push the initial capability date to next spring. A spokeswoman for Space Systems Command, the Space Force's acquisition arm, told C4ISRnet in a June 8 email the service is awaiting approval of the new schedule. Raytheon has incurred $123 million in additional costs as a result of the delays, SSC said, citing a material inspection and receiving report the company filed with the Defense Department. The program is at risk of further delays due to funding challenges, GAO said. In fiscal 2023, Congress cut $75 million from OCX that was meant to be used to pay for more contractor support for Blocks 1 and 2. The service's fiscal 2024 budget includes $200 million for the effort. So take away the $75 million, but then you give them an additional $125 million. The Space Force's constellation of GPS satellites provides navigation support to military and civilian users. It features older spacecraft as well as newer ones. The most recent version, GPS 3, is more accurate and resistant to adversary jamming attempts. OCX was designed to operate the entire GPS fleet, old and new. The first capability increment was delivered in 2017 and brought some hardware, software, and cybersecurity improvements. Well, they weren't all that great now, were they, huh? The system, dubbed Block 0, can support GPS 3 launches, but doesn't have the ability to operate the in-orbit satellites. Blocks 2 and 3 will bring that ability along with better performance and protections against cyber threats. So they haven't even, you know, to reiterate what was mentioned in the previous article, too, was they haven't even completed Block 1 and 2, but they've already been given additional money for a number 3 block, right? Just schedule uncertainty. Schedule uncertainty has been a persistent challenge for OCX, which was supposed to be fielded in 2016. The program's 2012 cost estimate of $3.7 billion has been revised several times, growing to $4.3 billion in 2015 and $6.2 billion in 2018. I believe that was mentioned in the previous article, too, from February of this year. The first increase triggered what's known as a Nunn-McCurdy unit cost breach, requiring the Defense Department to develop a new cost and schedule baseline in 2016. Yeah, again, so they just kind of reiterated some of what was already communicated back in February. Speaking earlier this year, Space Force Acquisition Executive Frank Calvelli called it one of the service's long-standing troubled programs. Yes, remember, he said that. GAO's report sheds some light on its most recent challenges, caused largely by overlapping efforts to test various satellite capabilities and integrate software. What was it? Overlapping efforts. like redundancy of some kind, maybe? I don't know. Because of the risk that not all requirements would be complete by delivery, the program modified the schedule to allow more time for software testing and addressing deficiencies. Software testing, huh? So I wonder what's going on now. Could be part of a test. And they're only letting a few people in on it. That they're testing our, our cyber systems and everything and our cyber security. And there's only just a few people that are in on it, Surprise. Software testing and addressing deficiencies, as well as developing technical manuals and training operators, the report states. To mitigate that risk, the program is honing in on critical software deficiencies and plans to award Raytheon a contract modification to address continued deficiencies, according to GAO. Well, by all means, let's keep Raytheon paid off, right? Beyond testing, SSC is concerned about the strain on GPS operators during the period between system delivery later this year and initial operations next spring. The strain on the GPS operators, huh? During this time, the operators need to complete training and assist with transition activities while controlling the GPS constellation using the existing system. Oh, so they can't multitask then? What good are they? Space Force officials stated that they are training operators on the current system and are working with the program office to schedule events. But there's always a but or a however with these people, huh? They told us that they remain concerned about the ability of trained operators to support the OCX events as scheduled. Yeah, something's going on there. When it comes to these recent cyber attacks, I gotta wonder: are we being tested, and who's initiating the test? This was that article too about Elon Musk sending over his satellites and stuff. I was gonna read a little bit into that too, so maybe I'll try to get into that as well here. But I wanted to read a little bit more about this military GPS user equipment here. And this is one of the modules here that they were going to modernize it with a military code, a signal known as military code or M code, you can see right there. And the receiver cards are expected to provide the military departments with more robust position, navigation, and timing capabilities for resistance to threats. The program is developing one card for aviation and maritime applications and one for ground applications. The military departments will make procurement decisions. Now, that's the ground system one that they apparently are having some issues with, right? Yeah. I don't really want to read too much into this part of it here. If I did that, then some of it might not make sense, so I'm just going to read, technology maturity. As we reported last year, 4 of 5 critical technologies are mature, with the remaining 1 nearing maturity. The program anticipates the last critical technology, the anti-spoof software, will reach maturity once testing is complete in the first quarter of fiscal year 2025. So the anti-spoof software, I'm assuming, is software that's meant to detect false radar signals or something, maybe, where they're detecting signals on a radar, but it's something that's actually a false signal of some kind that's being created, maybe by frequencies or by chaff. I don't know. Just guessing there, because I don't know anything. I just know how to read words on the paper. Sorry if some of y'all are disappointed by that. Yeah. So, anyway, you can believe that if you want. That's okay. Development on the ground card is now complete. The program encountered difficulties with flawed test procedures during the September 2021 test of the ground card on the lead platform, but officials said that they determined a retest was not needed. Specifically, the operators used an expired encryption key, which meant that the card never connected to an M-code signal. According to program officials, operators were unaware of this issue during testing because the receiver did not indicate which GPS signal it was operating with. Interesting. So, again, surprise, test. It's like a pop quiz. Program officials stated that even though software was not exclusively at fault, the contractor developed a software update that could prevent this error from happening again. Well, how convenient that the contractor just happens to have a software update that could prevent that error from happening again. Program officials also stated that while a full retest of the card on the lead platform would not be necessary, additional testing on the software update confirmed its effectiveness in preventing the error from recurring. Yeah, it kind of takes me back to the old days of when the internet and computers first started being a thing. And we started hearing news about viruses in our computers. And then we started getting offered antivirus and software and programs that we could install on our computers that would monitor for viruses for us and keep us all nice and safe from viruses. Yeah, those were the days when they used to ask, huh? The aviation/maritime card is approaching its technical requirement verification milestone, which certifies that the card can meet specific requirements. As of January 2023, the program successfully verified 963 out of 980 technical requirements. The program office expects to achieve this milestone by April of 2023. Interesting. I guess they missed it that mark. Operational testing for MGUE Increment 1 continued to slip since our previous report. The MGUE Increment 1 program now plans to begin combined developmental and operational testing on the Air Force's B-2 Spirit bomber platform in the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2024, and will end approximately 1 year later. Operational testing on the Navy's DDG platform, also known as the Arleigh Burke class of destroyers, is planned to begin in the first quarter of fiscal year 2025 and is planned to end in December 2025. Program officials said that the later date for DDG testing is driven by funding and test scheduling considerations that are outside MGUE's control. Really, as we previously, maybe we need to make more simulators. They should talk to NASA. As we previously reported, delays in the development of the aviation/maritime card led to delays in some receivers for this card. Man, but they wasn't too happy, huh? Design stability. As we reported last year, the hardware design of both cards is largely stable. According to program officials, the work that remains is almost entirely confined to software issues and related testing. Software issues and the testing of it. Again, I gotta wonder, what's really going on with these current cyber attacks? Is it really just a big test? And do they already have, like, the fix in their pockets? Is somebody ready to sell it? I mean, I know that there's somebody asking for ransom, and there's some group supposedly that is taking responsibility for it, but we've all heard that story before, haven't we? Yeah. Anyway, according to program officials, the work that remains is entirely confined to software issues and related testing. Further, they stated that any remaining hardware issues will be resolved with software updates. Yep, gotta get that uplink, right? And modifications to the receivers into which the military departments will integrate the cards. Yeah, let me zoom in just a little bit on this part here where it talks about production readiness. The contractors demonstrated all critical manufacturing processes on a pilot production line for both cards in June of 2021. Yes, they did a nice little demonstration of what they could possibly do, right? They just had to make it seem like they could do it, right? The program will not, however, there's another however, request a low rate or full rate production decision. Instead, the military departments in their respective programs will make procurement decisions when integrating the cards into their platforms. So in other words, they're going to milk it. They created this illusion that they were going to be able to do this, and they aren't following through, folks. They're not off to the greatest start. And again, this is the lead component being discussed here is the Space Force. I'm disappointed. Just a little bit disappointed. I mean, you know, we supposedly, and I don't believe it for a second myself, I have my own views and my own opinion about it, and everybody's free to believe whatever they want, but we supposedly went to the moon and stuff, right? And then we have supposedly sent all these probes throughout the universe going to other planets and measuring all of this stuff with other planets' atmospheres, and we got all this stuff that's viewing things that are millions and hundreds of millions of miles away, right? But you can't develop a GPS tracking system. And you can't develop these cards. Right? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm probably going to edit most of what I just said out. So, anyway. Software and cybersecurity. Program officials stated that the contractor completed software development for the ground card with the delivery of the final software version in November of 2021. In September 2022, the contractor delivered software version 6.3 for the aviation/maritime card, which will support final integration and platform testing. Program officials expect this version to address the remaining deficiencies and outstanding requirements. Outstanding. The program stated that MGU contractors had some difficulty finding software development staff and that changes to cybersecurity requirements resulted in additional software development efforts. Yeah, having trouble finding software development staff. Come on, I mean, isn't that what they're teaching kindergartners stuff on how to program and write code and read code and stuff now? Anyway. I get myself so sidetracked. Sorry. Difficulty finding software development staff and that changes to cybersecurity requirements resulted in additional software development efforts. They also noted that there are no known outstanding cybersecurity risks within the program. Well, that's good to know. However, However, again, according to the program, some cybersecurity requirements are the responsibility of the programs that seek to integrate MGUE cards. Interesting. Program Office comments. We provided a draft of this assessment to the Program Office for review and comment. The Program Office provided technical comments, which we incorporated where appropriate. According to the Program Office, MGUE Increment 1 made significant progress in fiscal year 2022, including the delivery, security certification, and approval of a ground card's final software build. The program stated that with these steps, MGU Increment 1 ground card development is complete, and the card is available to the military departments for procurement. The program delivered the Aviation/Maritime Cards Software Build 6.3 to the Air Force and Navy receiver programs in early fiscal year 2023. The program also stated that the Aviation/Maritime Card continues to make progress towards meeting its technical requirements verification date in April 2023. Well, let's hope that they have, huh? I mean, we're hearing news about these cyber threats and stuff going on right now, right? Yeah, here's the OCX. This is their command center right here, where they want, let's see, remember now, this is in millions. This is dollars in millions. Okay? Come on now. Just for one. Just for one command and control center. The next generation operational control system. The Space Force's OCX program is developing new hardware and software to replace the existing GPS ground control system. The Space Force intends for OCX to ensure reliable, secure delivery of position, navigation, and timing information. The Space Force is developing OCX in a series of blocks. The first, called Block 0, is for launch and limited testing of GPS-3 satellites. The second, called Blocks 1 and 2, includes satellite control, among other functions. OCX Block 3F is a separate follow-on program for the GPS-3F satellites. We assessed Blocks 0, 1, and 2. And again, this is, there's your program essentials. The prime contractor is Raytheon there. So there's a percentage of the progress to meet the current requirements. At least they're coming along with something, huh? And again, that's the cost in millions, okay? That's total acquisition cost, dollars in millions, all right? When they have command and control centers for space stuff already, remember? Isn't that what NASA is supposed to do? Right? I'm just saying. The program continues to report its 5 critical technologies as mature, which is consistent with our last assessment. As OCX is primarily a software development effort, the program does not track the metrics we use to measure design stability. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to have to get a drink of water or something here. Hang on. Okay, that's a little better. All right. The program does not track the metrics we use to measure design stability, such as the number of releasable design drawings. Yeah, because you don't want to release any design drawings, and then have them get stolen. Just redesign, right? Over the past year, the OCX program continued its software qualification testing on the new Hewlett-Packard hardware that replaced the program's original IBM hardware. As we reported last year, the program completed software certification on the old hardware. However, there's always a however. In 2020, the OCX program reported that it could no longer use that hardware after the sale of IBM's product line intended to support OCX to a foreign entity presented a cybersecurity risk. Well, how about that? They went through all the trouble and investing the money to update the certification on the old hardware using the original IBM hardware, but then someone went and sold the IBM's product line that was intended to support the OCX to a foreign entity. How about that? The program delayed a planned completion of the testing on the new hardware by an estimated 11 months to March 2023. Program officials stated that the delay was partly due to challenges with software segment integration. As a result, the program also delayed pre-delivery system-level demonstration by an estimated 1 year to May of 2023. Wow, yeah. Not off to a great start, Space Force, I'm just saying. Software and cybersecurity. The number of deficiencies remaining continues to be a risk to the program. According to program officials, as of December 2022, OCX had 308 discrepancies of higher severity, which are critical deficiencies, affecting 234 contractual requirements and ranging from documentation errors to software problems requiring fixes. Wow. These deficiencies contributed to a delivery delay. The contractor discovered additional deficiencies during software testing that required more time to address before delivery. Wow. Other program issues. They don't have enough? I mean, just saying. Over the past year, the program delayed estimated delivery by approximately 1 year to the end of 2023 due to challenges presented by overlapping efforts to integrate the software, test the navigation algorithm using live satellites, test the hardware and software at their final location, and develop training materials. So again, because I'm repetitive, I gotta say it again. I gotta wonder what's really going on with these recent cyber attacks. Is it just a test that only a few are privy to? Specifically, a technical issue with the GPS system simulator affected the testing schedule. Well, again, why don't they have NASA on that? They're great at simulating. Developing simulators, right? Program officials said that delivery may be delayed further due to funding challenges. Yep, they got to have more money. Need more money. That'll fix it, for sure. Definitely. That, and we better give it to them, because it's for our national security, right? Because of the risk that not all requirements would be complete by delivery, the program modified the schedule to allow more time for software testing and addressing deficiencies, as well as developing technical manuals and training operators. A whole new system, huh? A whole new one. Oh, that was uncalled for. Sorry. As OCX nears delivery, the program reported that it plans to award a contract modification to Raytheon to perform certain tasks between delivery and operations to include addressing some deficiencies. By all means, let's just keep Raytheon on the payroll there, huh? Block 1 and 2 delivery delays have, in turn, delayed the program's initial capability date by an estimated 1 year to spring of 2024. The program stated that it is mitigating schedule risk by conducting early software testing and focusing on critical software deficiencies. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Space Force officials told us that they are concerned about the demands on the operators between delivery and initial capability. During this time, the operators need to complete training and assist with transition activities. Really? While controlling the GPS constellation using the existing system. So, they're using the existing system, and at the same time, the operators are being trained to assist with the transition activities. Space Force officials stated that they are training operators on the current system and are working with the OCX program office to schedule events. Shouldn't you have already had trained people already running it? Shouldn't there? What happened to all of those already trained people running the current systems? I mean, just saying. Shouldn't there already have been? Oh my goodness. Space Force officials stated that they are training operators on the current system and are working with the OCX program office to schedule events. But, there's your but. They told us that they remain concerned about the ability of trained operators to support the OCX events as scheduled. Wow. Space Force plans to transition from the current control system to OCX in 2024. I can't talk right now, sorry folks. And expects the transfer to take up to 3 weeks, followed by operational testing. Space Force officials stated that they anticipate a low risk of encountering issues during this process, as they plan to do extensive testing prior to the transition. Yeah. While schedule margin exists for the Block 3F program, the continuing delays to Blocks 1 and 2 pose a risk because of high demand for shared resources, including development and testing environments and personnel. They don't have enough testing space? Program officials stated that the Block 3F program will not have full access to the shared environment and simulator until Blocks 1 and 2 complete development and testing. Wow. But let's just go ahead and give them another $125 million for Block 3, right? Program Office comments. We provided a draft of this assessment to the Program Office for review and comment. The Program Office provided technical comments, which we incorporated where appropriate. The Program Office stated that the GPS launch and checkout system, also, what is this, Walmart? Also known as OCX Block 0, is prepared to support the launch of the 6th GPS-3 satellite. The Program Office also stated that for OCX Blocks 1 and 2, the program continues to focus on finishing formal segment testing, integrating with external networks, and training initial operations cadre. The program added that it will also be ramping up the interim contractor support effort in order to conduct initial integration with the space and user segments in 2023. So again, I got a question. What's up? Are they testing these systems right now? Is that what's going on with all the cyber threats and the cyber attacks going on? Yes, I know. I've already said it a few times, but yeah, I've already said it before too. You should know by now if you watched enough of my videos. I'm repetitive, so I'll probably say it again too. But anyway, this is the weather system follow-on. Kind of interesting, huh? And there's the dollars in millions total acquisition cost. There's your total acquisition cost in millions. Just saying. And they're doing two weather system follow-ons. Yeah. The Space Force's Polar Orbiting WSF satellite weather system follow-on is intended to contribute to a family of space-based environmental monitoring systems by providing 3 of 11 mission-critical capabilities in support of military operations. You don't say. WSF aims to conduct remote sensing of weather conditions, such as wind speed and direction at the ocean's surface, and to provide real-time data for use in weapons system planning and weather forecasting models, and to help create and interfere with weather patterns and storm fronts. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I added that in. That's not actually in there, because they wouldn't do anything like that. No. It's just for weather forecasting models. The family of SBEM systems replaces the Defense Meteorological Satellite Program. Well, that's special. Isn't that special? That was 100%. Who's the contractor? Oh, well, that's an interesting name. Ball Aerospace and Technologies Corporation. Interesting name, I must say. Ball Aerospace. The WSF program, Technology, Maturity, and Design Stability. WSF's critical technologies are mature, and the program considers the design complete. Well, isn't that special? As we previously reported, over the past year, the program continued developmental testing and resolved 2 moderate technical risks identified in its August 2020 Critical Design Review. It addressed a risk that the satellite's reflector deployment assembly hardware could fail to deploy, resulting in mission loss. In our last assessment, we reported that the program delivered redesigned hardware to the contractor for integration onto the microwave sensor subsystem. The program conducted a successful test readiness review of the microwave sensor in April 2022 and delivered the sensor for satellite integration in October of 2022. Yeah. It resolved the potential requirement mismatch between the satellite's legacy hardware and the vehicle selected for launch. Specifically, during critical design review, the program noted that if the Space Systems Command's launch enterprise selected a different launch vehicle than the program used for testing to date, the program would have to redesign and retest its legacy hardware based on the new launch vehicle's requirements. Wow. However, in January 2022, the launch enterprise selected Space Exploration Technologies, SpaceX, Falcon 9R, one of the program's test vehicles, preventing related costs and schedule delays. So again, I have to wonder if there's like Starlink whirling around out there right now. Why is there such an issue for Space Force? Why are we throwing millions of dollars into another program when we've already got several that supposedly claim that they work? You know, I don't know. When you start talking about microwave sensors and microwaves and stuff, I gotta really question what they're really doing, you know? According to the program office, the prime contractor identified a risk to WSF's launch segment, one of 3 segments that comprise the WSF system. Specifically, Ball Aerospace's evaluation of SpaceX's early analysis predicted that Blaze, a mount for 6 other Space Force or external program satellites on the Falcon 9R, amplified the vibration transmitted to the WSF satellite, significantly exceeding the current load design limits of WSF subsystems. Really? Originally, according to the program office, WSF was intended to fly as a standalone satellite. The Blaze model was modified after SpaceX's initial analysis. However, there's a new drinking game when I'm reading this. Every time I say however or but, you got to drink. If you drink. If not, you don't. No, that's okay. I understand. I don't either. However, program officials told us that in December 2022, the prime contractor found that the modifications made some improvements but did not resolve the issue. So they didn't resolve the issue of the vibration was being transmitted to the WSF satellite from being amplified, right, through their subsystems. Wow. If load predictions for the WSF satellite and blaze continue to exceed WSF subsystem limits, then the WSF program may have to delay launch to address the issue. The program office told us that the prime contractor is working with SpaceX and the Aerospace Corp Structural Dynamics Department to begin mitigation efforts between February 2023 and April 2023. The program office expects to conduct a final analysis on these issues between April 2023 and July 2023, and to have the first WSF satellite available for launch by October 2023. That's pretty interesting. Wow, that's like, yeah. So it significantly exceeded the current load designs. The program plans to begin mission-level testing for the WSF system in April of 2023, to be completed by August of 2023, according to program officials. In February 2023, the program completed the last planned integration and testing event for the ground segment. For the space segment, the program successfully completed a spacecraft manufacturing readiness review and integration readiness review in April of 2022. I'm going to have to look that up. The program delivered the spacecraft to the contractor for integration and testing in October of 2022. In November 2022, the program exercised a contract option to purchase a second WSF satellite. The program plans for the second satellite to be available for launch in July 2027. So you don't have the first one done yet, not even ready, but you're already going to secure and purchase a second one, right? Okay. Software and cybersecurity. The program reported that it completed all software development efforts to support its core capabilities, but additional work remains to fully test cybersecurity. It plans to complete 4 additional cybersecurity tests in 2023. So again, because I'm repetitive, I got to wonder. Additional cybersecurity tests in 2023. Some of which were delayed. For example, the second cooperative vulnerability assessment, delayed 14 months from December 2021, was completed in February 2023. Our past work showed that delaying cybersecurity testing increases the risk that vulnerabilities will be identified later in development and may require costly, time-intensive rework. Wow. In May 2019, other program issues. In May 2019, an independent technical risk assessment deemed mission capability a high risk since the Space Force's Satellite Control Network, or SCN, managed as a separate program, might not have the capacity to support the WSF satellite's data needs. Telemetry, tracking, and commanding data are transmitted to and received from the WSF satellite through SCN to WSF's primary satellite operations center. However, SCN is working to expand its capacity. In April 2021, WSF signed a program support plan with SCN that includes 2 SCN supports per orbit, which the WSF program expects to meet its requirements. Interesting that we are having these cyber attacks. Program office comments. We provided a draft of this assessment to the program office for review and comment. The program provided technical comments, which we incorporated where appropriate. And that's it. Yeah, there's another interesting one, too. The National Security Space Launch. Yeah, let's see. Who are the prime contractors? Who got all of the money? Let's see, what do we got here? Program cost. Estimated cost and quantities. Fiscal year 2023. Dollars and millions. Program cost. 60 mil. The cost figure represent cost for the total program. Quantities represent launch services. Software development as of January 2023. Yeah, okay, there's nothing. Let's see. Prime contractors. Space Exploration Technologies Corporation. The United Launch Alliance. I have a lot of interesting information on the ULA and its association with the NROL. So it's kind of curious when you look at how much SpaceX is involved in a lot of this stuff. And again, I gotta remind y'all, there's Starlink zipping around supposedly all the time. So why are we investing even more into yet another space program? Seriously, I've got to question it. Is this going to be the one that's going to be used for all of the real type of stuff, and then they're going to slowly, like, just change over all the other programs into the civilian travel, right? Like the Space Force will become everything that's going to be involved with the military and all of that, and then NASA is just going to be strictly civilian, right? And SpaceX, right? And who's the other one? Branson. And who's the other one? Bezos, right? Because that's ultimately what a lot of the investment has been from the private sector and from these private companies, is to make space travel affordable so that everyone will be able to go up there and hang out in the upper space for a little bit and then come back down like a giant amusement ride, right? I mean, what is the point really of investing this much, 80 million into another branch yet? And yet we're still hearing about, and we're all being guilt-tripped and having our heartstrings tugged on all of the information coming out about homelessness and starving children and all of these other things, homelessness and all of this that needs to be addressed that only money could really fix, right? I'm just saying, Raytheon, Lockheed, come on. Yeah, and now we got, you know, Ball Aerospace and Space Exploration Technologies and the United Launch Alliance that are using up all of this funding too. For what? I mean, I understand the novelty of wanting to go up there. I'm not knocking it, whatever. But when you're using it for military purposes and you're using it just for this, you know, supposed purpose for our safety, and that's your premise, and now we're having multiple cyber attacks. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this page left intentionally blank. I'll go into a little bit more of that one because there's another one here too. DARC, D-A-R-C, Deep Space Advanced Radar Capabilities, and that's another one. That's Northrop Grumman. Okay, so a lot of these manufacturers and these contractors that are getting these millions and billions and trillions of dollars, these are people that have been involved in a lot of shit for a long time, and they haven't exactly been fully transparent. And they've used the guise of protecting their designs and protecting their intellectual property to withhold information from the public on everything that they are doing. So when I do research into how the military has approached warfare using weather as a weapon and weather as a force multiplier, I really have to question what it really does this weather system follow-on do. Because you already have NOAA and NASA, and you already have systems in place that supposedly is monitoring all of that. So you need more, and including ones that have microwave technologies and stuff? Yeah, I got a question. Just got to question it. Anyway, I'm going to end this one because I need to move around a little bit. I've been reading this for too long. I need to go do something else. But I want to get into a little bit more when it comes to the Air Force as well. And there actually is a couple more of these from the Space Force that I wanted to go into as well, because they have their tracking system and stuff too that they're investing some more money into as well. And like I said, I want to go... Oh, that was another one too. Next Generation Overhead Persistent Infrared Block Zero Geosynchronous Earth Orbit Satellites. That's a mouthful, huh? I'll go into more of that in the next video. So thank you for watching. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Know that you matter very much to me. And stay mindful. They're definitely popping off a bunch of different things all at once here, folks. Definitely not a time to be having your head down. Buried in your devices too deep, but know that I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. So, thank you.